Yeah. All right. Let's get into some entertainment news.
Entertainment news. Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to start making him do jingles now.
Oh, yeah, I should. I should be doing jingles. All right, entertainment news, guys. So the concept of the show must go on. Let's get into it. Okay, so we started the year off pretty weird. So let's talk a little bit about the concept of the show must go on. So this is how we started the year. Jeremy Renner's snowplow accidentally hit him in a critical condition and put him in critical condition this past Sunday. Then on Monday, millions of viewers witnessed Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, 24, suffer a cardiac arrest and collapse on the field during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL said that the Bengals will not resume this week. So, Joy, what do you think about the way our year kind of started off?
It's been already wild. Also, I mean, I know that, well, I don't know if you know who it is. And he doesn't remember. We watch a lot of Ridiculousness, and Rob Dyrdek's the host of that, and he has a lot of guests come on. And one that he's had on repeatedly is Ken Block, who is a stunt driver, race car driver. Okay. And he was killed in a snowmobile accident on the same day as...
What?
Yeah. So
that didn't get covered a lot.
Probably because that's a specific niche of people, but I recognized him because of my love for Ridiculousness. Yeah. I knew that he was on numerous times.
Gotcha.
As a guest on the panel.
Okay.
I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear about that one either.
Tabs, what about all the craziness that we started the year off?
So sad. Like, just the insanity in which certain things have happened, and 24 years old, have cardiac arrest, and just, I mean, goodness gracious, that is so young.
Well, it doesn't really, I mean, it can happen to anybody. It's being hit at the right moment, at the right spot and the right moment.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I wonder if this is do you think that this will cause any changes within regulations?
I mean, they clearly, I think, have had people request more padding.
Gotcha.
Maybe they'll finally get it. I don't know.
But I think, I agree. I'm pretty sure they're definitely going to talk about it, especially since they didn't continue on with the game because it was so horrific for a lot of people, and that moves us into, again, like the topic of this segment, like the concept of the show must go on. So
like when it's appropriate, like when it's not.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
So that saying, let me show you guys where that saying actually came from. So the origins of the phrase "the show must go on" when a circus performer got injured performing their death-defying or otherwise demanding act, or when an animal got loose. Supposedly, the ringmaster and the band would keep the entertainment going so the crowd wouldn't worry and panic, and thus the expression "the show must go on." That's where that came from. So we're going to talk about a few examples of, like, I thought maybe we could come up with them, but I know we were all busy, so I came up with three.
The first one, though,
to talk about, and I think Nixon also had a good one as well. I think on this one that we're about to talk about. So the first example that I know, and it's kind of weird that I'm the one sitting in this chair because I'm right next to the Brandon Lee poster. So
it's normally my seat.
So 1993, Brandon Lee, son of martial artist Bruce Lee, died while filming the movie The Crow in Wilmington, North Carolina. A prop gun had been squib loaded, causing the blank cartridge to propel the bullet into Lee and kill him. Contrary to urban belief, the footage of his death was not kept in the movie. Instead, they reshot the scene using a different actor whose death in the film was by a throwing knife.
Which is, okay, so the whole concept of, I thought, because for the longest time, because, I was obsessed with The Crow when I was younger, really did think that they showed his death.
Oh yeah, that was like legends.
That was like a major rumor for the longest time.
It probably propelled the
and I really thought it happened that way. Like legit, I remember going, "Oh my god!" And they have that scene in the movie, and that was what everyone was saying back then. So I didn't learn about how they had used a different actor for that scene until I was an adult, like rewatching it. And then like something came up with The Crow a few years ago where they like,
Jason Momoa was thought to be in it.
oh, that's right. And so it started conversation about it.
Yeah, they've been
We
trying.
didn't
to
have the power of Google back then.
Yeah.
To, look up all the.
Anything you remember?
Exactly.
Anything you remember from that time when all that went down?
I mean, I love that movie.
I love that movie.
I remember that was the first like behind the scenes like tragedy that really made me think about how movies were getting made, because I was thinking, how are they going to do this?
Yeah.
And that was the first time that they dabbed into like computer animation to put Brandon Lee's face above the person that finished the scenes for him. And it was 1993. That technology really wasn't there, and that the budget, I'm sure they were over budget, maybe they still were within budget, I don't know. But with the darkness of that movie, they did a great job.
Oh, absolutely.
With finish. I still to this day cannot tell.
I think I remember more that the constant topic was that he died like his father.
Yeah, the urban legends
lore
and stuff.
that was going on.
There was all the curse and everything.
Yeah.
I remember all of that too. Yeah. And because, I mean, first of all, he was another crush. He looks like a lesbian, so it makes sense. But I just remember being really upset about the news, because when you knew about this happening and it was in the news and waiting for the movie and everything, and I was like, no, like I was really into him. Mm-hmm. And so I was very upset about it. But it was like a big tragedy for back then, and just kind of crazy how it sort of took off story wise.
I'm just reminding you.
Okay. You be yelling at me? He's over here yelling at me on screen. Gosh.
No, I know, because I know that you're used to being the co.
I am.
And I'm trying to remind you, actually, you're the host.
I know, we got to move on, is what he's telling me. So he's doing what I do to him.
You're like, no. What you do is you're all like, Chris, the bladder's
I do
filling
this.
up.
I do the hand thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to wrap that shit
The bladder's filling up, Chris. Roll it into the next one. But there's another example.
There's another example. So in 1999, Owen Hart, a Canadian-born professional wrestler for the WWF, died during an Over the Edge, a pay-per-view event, when performing a stunt. It was planned to have Hart come down from the rafters of the Kemper Arena on a safety harness tied to a rope to make his ring entrance. The safety latch was released and Hart dropped 78 feet, bouncing chest first off the top rope and resulting in a severed aorta, which caused his lungs to fill up with blood. Ow. It's just ow.
I remember that day.
Do you really?
It was on pay-per-view. It was being filmed. The weird thing about, so it happening wasn't captured on film, but that was in an arena
with everybody
all the audience. Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it. He was playing a character, a masked character, like a superhero type of character. And he wasn't the first person to do that entrance. Shawn Michaels, I think, did it the year before. So he was going to do it again, but then that freak accident happened. And I remember them describing, because nobody on TV that was watching the pay-per-view saw it. We just noticed that it was delayed. And then this is one of the examples of the show must go on. Yeah. Because they kept it going. You saw wrestlers walking down the ramp, wiping away tears because they knew they heard, because they worked on him for a very long time. The scene that you saw with Hamill is exactly the way it was going down on that day. They worked on him for a long time. They got him out of there and took him to the hospital, but they were hearing probably like from the paramedics or maybe from the doctors, the calls were coming in, he's probably not going to make it.
I can't imagine the mental strain that would, like, this is somebody obviously that they work out with, that they train with, that they practice with, that they are in, that this is their life. And now this person has basically, they did die very suddenly out of a freak accident, and then you're expected to go and perform. Like, the whole concept of that is just sort of bizarre to me, like how they can be in the mental state to continue doing that.
I mean, I was telling Chris, I don't have any entertainment stories. I'm like, I have healthcare stories.
Yeah.
We see that frequently. Somebody dies. CPR being performed. Really crazy things that other people will be like, what the heck's going on? And we have to keep going. We don't get to go home. We just have to go into another room and go, what can I do for you? with a smile on your face.
Yeah. It's not like
How can I help
it's not like
you?
it's not like a desensitized situation. Well, kind of is, but it's her job. She sees it. You see it
Every day,
Yeah. For
people
us, it's new.
don't think about when they were talking about this. They're like, oh my gosh, it's horrifying. Yeah, it is. And a lot of the healthcare workers were like, rightly so. You should be shocked and bewildered, but we kind of want you to think about that when you're seeing other people and going, oh, why this, why that? Like, they have stuff going on that you don't see. Police. When I went overseas to Iraq. My mother still was worried about me and my brother worked overseas, and me and him joked to my mom. I don't jump at loud noises and stuff like that anymore. It's not like you're not desensitized to it. You're just your skin is kind of hardened. You're hardened a little bit, and it's why I won't say everybody. There's a large portion of the healthcare community. We have very dark and twisted sense of humor because we see a lot of crazy stuff.
This is how you cope.
It's not meant to mean that we don't have a heart or don't have feelings, but that's our coping. That's what we do.
Humor you have to use morbid humor in those moments to be able to deal with the hardships that come with having that kind of job and just having to move forward. I can't imagine the mental hardship that y'all go through on the regular for that. It's just heartbreaking.
And another example of it real quick is what happened right here in Houston, Astroworld Festival Crowd Crush. Now, this wasn't the entertainer, but it was the fans, but still, it was another example of the show going on. And so on November 5th, 2021, a fatal crowd crush occurring during the first night of the 2021 Astroworld Festival, a music event founded by American musician Travis Scott that held at NRG Park in Houston, Texas. 8 people died on the night of the concert, and 2 more died in the hospital over the following days as Scott was starting to sing at approximately 9:34 p.m. A man yelled at the camera operator multiple times from the bottom of the media towers to stop the show, which went ignored. A woman soon joined him, climbing his ladder onto the platform to shout the same concerns of someone dead in the crowd. After also being ignored, the other concertgoers came up onto the platform to join her, but another audience member told them about that the crowd would take care of it. People are fucking dying. Was what there was. I want to save someone's life at approximately 9:42 p.m. Scott stopped performing Skeletons mid-song for his third and final time of the concert, and after noticing an unconscious attendee. It took over 10 minutes for him to stop the show, and that was it right here in Houston. That's another example of the show must go on kind of situation. That mentality where in that situation, I don't know if they believed it or believed that it was as bad as they thought it was. That's why he kept going. But the people were pleading with him,
that was actually one of the major issues with that whole situation is they would not stop.
Yeah,
there were so many people telling them that this was happening, that people were getting hurt, that a
9-year-old boy was disfigured.
Literally, and people are begging them to stop, and they would not stop. They just refused to stop the show, and he is literally like on stage. I just didn't know how he didn't notice.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, being on that stage, it's probably the lights are on you. It's probably dark down there, and in your mind, you're like, there's people that are security that are paid to handle whatever is going on down there. But I'm up here, and people shout out a lot of stuff all the time. All the time. So, but when that many people are saying the exact same thing,
you stop.
And it didn't, and I'm always not joking, but I'm always, I guess I'm bragging, like in the real estate world. I always tell Joey, I say, whenever I get a client that gives me their laundry list of what bad or what wrong thing that their last realtor did, I do the opposite. And that's what a lot of performers did. The second, like when I think Billie Eilish, I think there was a bunch of artists after this happened. The second it looked like something was going on in the audience, they immediately stopped the show, turn the lights up, because they did not want to go through this. I've
seen so many performers before the situation happened where they have literally stopped the show that because a man was groping a woman. Yeah. They saw the small act of a man.
I've seen that happen in real life at a club.
And they've stopped. So if they can do that for a small act, that is harder to see within a crowd, why couldn't he stop for where a mass group of people is, you see something's going on and people are screaming to stop and nobody's listening?
I can understand when one person is doing the truck. Then it's like, okay, we have people on the ground. Oh, my lower third isn't fixed. I'm Tabitha on this one. I forgot to fix that one. I'm Tabitha. But I can understand when one person is, I fixed yours, but I didn't fix mine. When one person says it, but like I said, when multiple people are coming in and saying the same thing, it should have went on.
Absolutely. Guys, that's the end of this episode. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. And click here or here. Thanks for watching.